Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video, what we are going to do is we are going to be comparing One UI 6.1 to One UI 7.0. So we have 6.1 running over here, and we have 7.0 running over here, and they're both Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultras. So let's do a full side-by-side comparison to see every aspect of the changes. Now the first thing I do want to talk about has to do with an intelligence feature. So I'm going to show you guys how they made it look much better. So to demonstrate, I'm just going to pull up my Samsung Notes application on both over here, and we have the same exact note. And then I'm going to tap over here, bring up the keyboard, and let me just select all the text. All right, tap and select all. Do the same over here, tap and select all. Now what I can do is I can tap on the intelligence button right here in the keyboard. Now this is the old version. When I tap over here, this is in fact the new version. You can see the same contents, but we have a different visual style. So for example, if I tap on spelling and grammar here, this is what's happening. If I tap over here, you can see we have this nicer animation, and we also have like a black stroke around this box. So that's one difference. I think it just looks a little bit better when you are having it this way. You can see the background. We have a slightly blue AI background. Here it's just a flat background. So this looks better in my opinion. So that's one change. By the way guys, we do have something amazing here. We have a brand new landscape orientation that is much more cleaner and organized. So look at this. We have the app and text next to it. Here they have the app or the folder and text underneath, and also these four apps at the bottom have been moved to the side. This looks so much better, and if I scroll through, it just looks natural now, all right? As opposed to this one that looks very cramped and weird, all right? So that's much better. When I go to my app drawer, look at this, app drawer, the buttons have been repositioned right over here as opposed to on the corner, but things just look nicer over here as opposed to this one, okay? So that's an enhanced landscape mode that I was not expecting, but here it is. Now we also have a change to the task changer. So if I pull it up from the bottom, you can see we have two different styles now. So this is the old version right here. Okay, let's see how quick that is. Nice and snappy, but now we have a different design with a slightly different effect. So this is like a stacked version. So take a look at it, all right? So that's that, and that's this. They're both pretty quick and fast and snappy. But I do like this new version better, the way it is designed and the way it feels. All right, let's tap on close all. All right, that is similar. Now on the lock screen, there's an option that I was really looking forward to, and we have it. So when I go inside here, now first and foremost, we do have brand new clock styles. Okay, so if I tap over here, we have the font and color, and we have style on this side. Over here, we have the styles at the bottom, and the fonts are on the top here. The problem with the old style on One UI 6.0 is if I pick something, let's just pick this one right here, and let's get this one right here. Now I'm going to try to resize that, and look at how limited the size is. So that's the maximum size. I can go smaller, but this is the only size I can come up to on One UI 6.0. On 7.0 or 6.1. On 7.0, if I pick the same clock, let's just pick a font over here, this one, I can maximize this as much as this. So now I can have a larger clock, which makes sense. So with this car, for example, with this particular wallpaper, I would like to have the clock right here, and that's the way to go. I can also take the clock and I can put it in different places, as you can see, okay? You can do the same thing over here, but you can just move it this way or this way, and everything moves with it. Here you have more flexibility. Fantastic. Now one more thing, you can see that they took these icons, these are notification icons, and they're moved to the top. You cannot see it here, but you'll see it on the lock screen. And also, if you go to add a widget, you now have more options. So look at this. If I scroll down, I can't. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 widgets. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And of course I can go into each one of these and access the available widgets based on my needs. So that's great, more options. All right, so let me show you the new charging animation. So I'm gonna have a cable, I'm gonna attach it at the bottom to charge it. First, I'm gonna show you what happens when the phones are unlocked. So look at the top right over here. All right, so I'm gonna plug it in and look at this. It says charging. All right, so that was nice. So that's when the phone is not in the lock screen. So if I go to the lock screen, now look at what happens. Wake it up, plug it in, look at the bottom. All right, so that is brand new compared to this one. So if I plug it here, basically I get this and nothing on the top. In the lock screen, wake it up. Again, I just get this, but nothing at the bottom right here. Okay, so that's also a new change and I like it. The other big change that I want to show you guys is the actual control center. So first and foremost, look at this. So if I pull this down, you can see I have my music player right here. Now on this one, if I do a pull down, I'm not going to see the music player. They took that music player from the notifications, which makes sense, and they put it over here where we have our quick toggles, and you can also see them side by side. We do have a change here. Now with the quick toggles, what I can now do is normally I can tap on edit, and this is the screen I get. On this one, when I tap on edit, I'm actually able to change the location of these tiles based on my need. You cannot resize them, but you can change the location as you can see. And also, if I go back over here, look at this one. We have a 3x4 over here. Here we have a 2x4. However, anywhere on this quick toggle area, I can pull down to expose all my quick toggles, as opposed to this one, we have to swipe left and right. So that is a change on the toggles side. Additionally, if I want to edit these toggles, I tap on edit and I go into my toggles. These are my full toggles. Here, if I tap on edit, and if I tap on edit, I'm able to change them this way. You can see the layout looks a little bit different here. This is combined, this is separated, so that's a visual change. Also, when I have this pulled down like this, look at this. If I go back here, we don't have anything over here on the top. And also over here, when I do tap on edit, I can also access my panel settings right from here. And when we do go to the panel settings, they both have this option right here, okay? So you can enable this either to go down together or you can have it separate. So look at this. If I pull it down now, I can double pull and get access to my quick toggles. I can do the same thing on this one when I say together. Let's go back home, tap on done, boom, boom. All right. Now I do prefer to have it separate like this. Tap on done. Okay. Now when I pull this down, it just brings my notifications. But if I want to access my quick toggles and my music player, I have to pull this down from the corner top. And even though there's not a huge change, I do like this layout better because we have the music player and also the volume slider right over here. So that's the quick panel. There's also a nice change to notifications. So when I pull them down, look at this. So here are my notifications. If I want to see multiple notifications from a single source, I would tap on expand. It's going to give me everything. Now over here, I can do the same thing. I can tap on expand, but if I have multiple notifications from a single app like over here, it's going to say 13, and I can swipe like this to actually expand all of them, and then tap on an individual one to further expand that. So that's a little bit different, and I do like it. Look at the clear button here. It's the same over here, but larger, and also notification is now inside that rounded bubble as well. So that's great. We also have a brand new app. Now, this is a security application. Let's take a look at it. So the change is under security and privacy. So if I scroll down right over here and over here, and if I scroll down just a little bit more, you can see we have this brand new option that says security status of your devices. Your devices are being protected by Knox Matrix, which is a new application. If I go inside, it says the Knox Matrix monitors supported devices signed into your Samsung account using a secure private blockchain. So right now, obviously, only S24 Ultra, this one, is supported because it is the latest update with One UI 7.0. But if I tap over here and go to About and then tap over here, you can see the actual app. That's the Knox Matrix app. Most likely this app is going to be installed to other Samsung devices. So then you can come to your smartphone and you can check the security status of all your Samsung devices that you are signed into with your Samsung account. So this is a new option. All right, look at this. Each device in the chain can check the security status of other devices and let you know if there are any threats. So great, the more security, the better. I also want to show you guys that if you go to the main settings right over here, okay, let's just go to the settings, they are going to be identical. All right, the big changes, the way they are capsuled, you can see the capsule here extends to the edge. This capsule, there's a little gap from the bezel to the actual where the rectangle starts, okay? Not a huge deal, but every single menu item on the main settings menu is exactly the same with no new additions. There are some additions when you dig down deeper. Let's look at one of the biggest ones. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to go to lock screen and AOD, and now we have this brand new Now bar. Now bar basically is a dynamic island-like interface for your Samsung phone. We don't have it here, so that's going to be brand new here. Let me show you what it is. So I'm going to go to my clock application as an example. Okay, I'm going to start a timer. Let's start a timer right here. Now when I pull this up, it goes over here, which was an existing feature, but now when I tap it, it's going to expand on the top, as you can see. Furthermore, if I add another application, let's add the voice recorder application and start recording a voice and then go back out. Look at this. Now I'm going to have it here, but I can tap on it and then flick between the two, as you can see. You cannot flick upwards. You can flick downwards like this. Nice animation as you're doing it. You can also flick them sideways, but that just makes them disappear. They still keep running in the background, but they do disappear from the top over here. And also, if I go to my lock screen, you will see we have the Now bar available right here. And I can tap on this, play music, and I can go back, tap on it, tap down, tap on it, tap down. Nice animation. And if I have multiple things running, let's bring that clock back. So where's that clock timer? Right here. So you can see it's running. So I'm going to shoot it up here. Now if I go to the lock screen, look at this. I can flick between them. I cannot flick downwards. That was the one-handed mode. I cannot flick downwards. I can only flick upwards like this, okay, to switch between them. If I tap it, it will expand just like you saw initially. Now look at this. When I tap and expand it, the fingerprint disappears, so it's not going to work. So I have to bring it back down and then go inside. So we do have this brand new Now bar, which I think is amazing. Now what is compatible with the Now bar? It's the music, modes and routines, and also live notifications. So all these, even if I have the maps running, they would show up right there and I can flick between them. So all these over here you can have in the Now bar. I hope they expand this and add more options. So that's another big change. Now I do want to show you guys, if I pinch the screen and if I go to the settings in my wallpapers, look at this. Tap, tap. This one looks a little bit different. So this is now, these were squares. Now they're rectangles, vertical rectangles. And if I go inside, same thing. They look a little bit different. Not a huge deal. It just makes sense for these to look just like these. And the wallpapers are all the same. So nothing new on the wallpaper end. One more thing is if I go to my drawer, it's a little bit different. The search bar is now at the bottom. And also I have the vertical bar, as you can see. Okay. And I can also go like this and jump to quick letters. So if I want an app that starts with S, boom, I'm right there. Okay. Now I can tap this button, tap on sort, and tap on custom order, and now it is just like the old style if that is what you like. I think I'm going to keep it, because it's new, like this. Alright? Besides, you can search them anytime that you please. Now the Smart Select option has changed. So when I pull the Smart Selects for both of these products, and we do have the edge panels on both, but they're a little bit different. I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But here's my Smart Select on this side. Let's just select this area. And then here's my Smart Select on this side. So let's select this area. Okay, you can see on this new Smart Select, I have all my options available at a glance. Here, they're not all available. I have to tap here, for example, to access additional features. On this one, they're all outside. The only thing I have to access is tap over here and access the Create GIF option. All right, but everything else is exposed. And if I go to my Edge Panels, let me show you what's going on over there. If I go to Edge Panels and scroll down to Display, we still have Edge Panels on both of these products. However, they have taken away something. So Edge Panels, look at this. If I go to my panels, I do not have the Galaxy Store. So I cannot go to the store to download new panels anymore. If I have existing panels that I already downloaded, they're going to be available right here, as you can see. But beyond that, I don't have the Galaxy Store to access to download new panels, which are these guys right here. Okay, there's some good stuff here, but not available anymore. Now, if I go to the settings, another change, if I scroll down to battery, and if I go over to my battery protection and enable it, and let's go with maximum, you can see at the bottom we have this bar, so I can now go to 85, 90, or up to 95. So charging will stop at 95%, 90 or 85. Here, you can only do 80%. They're both going to protect your battery, but at least this option is going to allow you to retain more charge per charge. In the long term, this is still probably better for maximum battery longevity, but it's not a huge difference. It's not going to be a day and night difference, so I would just keep it at 90 to have more power available and also to extend the battery's lifespan. Now also under battery, we have some new features here. So if I go to power savings, this menu right here is now even more. So if I tap over here, I have additional options, as you can see. So I have decrease brightness by 10% right here, but then I have set motion smoothness to standard, turn on dark mode, and also it sets screen time mode to 30 seconds. So when I enable the power savings, I can also enable additional settings for even more power savings. So I'm just going to cancel all these right now. So that's a new option, all right? And finally with the battery, if I go down, there's a new auto dim screen. So when your battery reaches critical levels below 5%, it's further going to dim the screen to save you even more battery. You're just going to get some extra juice out of that 5% leftover, all right? One more change that we have is we have the battery icon change. We have 96%, it says right here, and the battery icon. So you can have the battery percentage meter right here and the icon here. The percentage meter has gone inside the icon, which I think is better. But again, if I go to my settings and if I go to my battery, these are changeable settings. So again, battery. At the bottom, look at this, show battery icon. I can remove the percentage and just see the icon, and same thing over here. Don't show the battery, I just see a little pill right there, okay? I do like that better, so I'm going to keep that in there. Doesn't take space anymore. This one will take extra space, as you can see. All right. Guys, we have changes to the camera application. So first and foremost, obviously you can see we have different apps for the camera. We also have some different apps for some core applications. Okay, so here's a calculator application. This is the new one right here. They look very different. I like this one much better. And you can see on the screen we have an example of all the changes with the apps. But now let's actually look at the camera and how it changed. So camera, okay? Immediately you can see a new interface. So this is the Pro Video, so I'm going to go back to regular photo. So look at this. We have this here and we have this here. We have a settings button and all these options, they're not here anymore. They have been moved to this button. You tap it and it actually expands out, and then you can go to settings and settings. All right. Let me quickly show you some new feature. So at the bottom, if you go to grid lines, now you actually have a composition guide. So instead of just having grid lines, you have a grid line and a level. grid lines only or level only. So that's going to be up to you. Can be turned off if you don't want it. I like them both, so I'm going to keep them. All right. So that's the camera setting change. Nothing beyond that. You can see the shutter button has moved to the top, and they took the modes and they put them at the bottom. And if I go to more, the more screen over here I think looks better now. They're all downwards. This is all scattered. If I go to Pro Video, you can see we also have some changes to the way they look. Now here's what I like. Here's all my Pro Video options that I can manually select. Now they put them on the top here. Okay, so similar interface, but different ways to get to it. Okay, just with slight movements. Let's go back here. So let's go back to more and more. Same with the Pro Photo mode. So there's a slight difference. All the options are at the bottom. This strip is at the bottom here now. I like that. They did leave a couple things here. So the resolution is over here. The raw image toggle is right here, which is new. That is great. Similar redesign here and here. Okay, now I'm going to go back out to the regular stuff and just go to video. Now, if I go to video, you can see I have the same thing. All this stuff is put in this box. And if I tap on settings, I go into the video specific settings. So any mode you are in, if you pull this up and go to settings, you're going to go to the settings for that particular mode. We also got an update to the expert raw mode. Okay, so you actually have to update the application. You'll get the notification, but look at this. It will look different. Now it looks like the new option. So all the strips have come down. Couple options left on the top. That's it. All right, so that's the camera changes. I do like the new level option that is now built in. In the phone application, we have new features. Some new features. So if I go to my settings on both, you can see we are going to have a brand new AI feature known as call transcript. So if you have this turned on, and if somebody calls you, you can record that call, not the voice if you're in the United States, in certain states, but you are able to record the actual transcript. It's going to convert the calls into a text transcript, and you can view the transcripts on the recent screen in the phone app. So you'll be able to tap on a phone call that you did, and it's going to give you the read transcript option. You can see a preview right there. So just make sure this is enabled. So this is a new AI feature. Really nice one. The volume panel looks largely the same. However, you can see if I tap over here, this one is just a little bit more rounded. And that rounded stuff is everywhere. Okay, if you look at the widgets, they're more rounded. They did that because they want to match the new S25 that's coming out that's going to have slightly more rounded corners. Not dramatic, but slightly more. What about widgets? So let's pinch. Widgets, oops. Widgets. So look, first we have more options on display as opposed to this. But if I go in here and if I tap on Smart Suggestions, just one option. If I tap over here, gives me multiple options. And again, they're more rounded. All right. If I go down to battery, something new that we have. So here is my battery, 2 widgets. Here I have 3. I got the circles and also the list. Look at this. Okay. Same if I go down to calendar, I'm going to have these options. Okay, just 4 options. Now if I tap over here, still 4 options. However, it organizes them into smaller boxes. So we have countdown, we got the month, and we got today, and we got the upcoming events. So you can see you get more options here, more preset options. And if I go down, same with the clock. Okay, if I go to the clock, you can see these are the new clocks. That's the alarm. Previously it was here. Now they took this and put it in its own box with all the available sizes. Analog, right here. Digital right here. Dual clock, as you can see. Okay, so that's the dual, that's the new dual. So the same story applies to many of these widgets. So you can see device care widget, I got 2. Now I have 3. And again, they're a little bit nicer than this one. All right, so those are the widgets. One more thing, tap, settings. We do have this app and widget style setting. If I tap on this one, I can change the app size. Okay, I can make them smaller, as you can see. So if I go out now, my apps are going to be smaller. All right, so that's great. Let's go back inside. I can also remove my app labels, but I can also add labels to the widgets. So if I go out here, now I can have labels, clock, weather to my widgets. So that's great. Let's go back in there, pinch, app. Let me just remove that. The device care screen looks pretty much identical, as you can see. Oop. All right, so all the same stuff here. If I go to my performance profiles, it's the same. No big changes here. If I go to memory, again, the same exact thing, as you can see. Even the same design. So there's nothing different in the device care. All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. Looks like we compared just about everything. We have a lot of changes. It's a good step. One UI 7.0 looks amazing and runs very well so far, even for being a beta. If I missed something, drop a comment down below. Let me know. For now, have a fantastic day.